So we start our session now, anatomy and physiology. So anatomy is also an essential part of yoga training, because unless you know about your body's structures and different systems which are working in this body, you cannot manage them. And all these systems of anatomy and physiology, you'll find that they are highly helpful in your yoga practice, your own yoga, and also in yoga teaching, right? So Yoga Alliance has essentially added this section in teacher training course, anatomy and physiology. So in anatomy, you learn about different systems of the body, like skeletal system, muscular system, nervous system, and endocrine system, cardiovascular system, okay, digestion system, and biomechanics. All these systems you learn in this studies. First, understand what anatomy is actually. Anatomy word is a Greek word actually, which has come from, which is made of two words, ana and tomy. Okay, so ana means up, ana means up, and tomy means cutting. So when you cut the systems in different parts, that is called anatomy. Clear? So like cutting up or dissection or separation, severing, all these are parts of anatomy. So in biology, if you are a student of biology, then you cut you know, an animal or an insect in different parts, and then you study about the anatomy of that body, right? So in view of biology, human beings are also animals, right? Human beings are also animals. So if you study any animal, you can study a human being also. So the biological systems are similar in all the living beings. Structures means sizes are different, but the systems are similar. Like anatomy starts from molecules, right? Molecule. Molecule is the smallest unit of entire organism, living being. And when molecules constitute, that make cell, a cell. A cell has the molecules, right? You have learned electron, proton, neutron. They are these atoms, molecules of an element, right? So in a cell also there is mitochondria, then nucleus, and all this stuff in a cell. And when cells constitute, that form tissue, a tissue. A single tissue is formed by different cells, right? Amoeba is singular cell, amoeba. But except amoeba, all the living beings are mass of different cells, made of cells. And that is called tissue. A being can be a single tissue being, okay? And when tissues are organized or collected, that form organ. So every organ in our bodies is made of tissues. And group of organs make an organ system, like a skeletal system, muscular system, digestion system, or any kind of system that is made of different organs. And you will study that even in respiratory system, there are different organs which play vital role, which play a role in this system. Like in digestion system, there are different organs which play a role. Not all the organs play a role in digestion system. So a system is made of different organs. That's called organ system. And collectively, when all these systems are constituted, then that make an organism. Organism is a living being. Clear? So this is the structure. There are six-fold, six tires structure of uh, an organism, a living being. So smallest unit is molecule. Then molecules make cells make tissue, tissues make organ, organs make organ system, and all different organic systems make a living being. Clear? So this is the organizational levels of a body. Now, in this chapter, you will study about a skeletal system. Okay. A skeletal system. And a skeletal system is all about bones. Clear? The bones of the body. So all the 206 bones constitute this skeletal system. So there are total 206 bones in the body. Clear? And this skeletal system is divided into two parts. One part is made up of the bones of the axial skeletal. Axial skeletal is from here to up. Axial skeletal. And the other part is made up of bones of the appendicular skeletal. Appendicular skeletal is the part from below the waist area. That is appendicular skeletal system. Okay. The axial skeleton is the part of a skeleton that consists of the bones in the head and trunk and this area. Okay. And this part, there are total 80 bones that make, okay, the 80 bones composed of 6 parts. Okay. And these two, axial and appendicular, these two sections constitute the entire skeletal system. Okay. So total there are 206 bones in the human body. Clear? And there are different scientific names of different bones in the body. Every bone has name in English, and that is given by the medical scientists. Okay, you'll come to know what different bones are called. And in a skeletal system, there are other things also, like joints. Okay, joints are also the major parts of the skeletal system. Only if there are different bones, but if they are not joined, then they cannot move. We cannot move our body. So the movements are possible because of joints. If I am able to move my head, that is because of joints. If I am able to move my arms or anything, so from joint only we can move, right? We'll study in detail the joints. Now, there comes need of the skeletal system. Why we need bones? Why we need bones? So first need is that supports and protects the softer parts of the body. The soft parts of the body, like muscles or organs, they are supported by and protected by the bones. Okay. Second is that supports our body through a framework of the bones. Framework. So if the body is harder, solid because of bones, not because of the muscles. Muscles are not harder, right? Muscles are very soft, though they become stiff because of lackness of exercises, but they are not as stiff, as solid as the bones. Clear? So our bodies are solid because of the bones. Okay. And bones also produce the RBC. You know RBC, red blood cells. So they are produced in the bone marrow, bone marrows. So RBCs are produced in the skeletal system wall. Okay, and this is like an anchor for muscles also. You know what is the purpose of anchor? That keeps, centered. Otherwise, they will collapse in each other. Okay, so the bones keep the muscles together and bond it to the body, because all the muscles are attached to the bones only. If they had no bones, so where muscles could attach? So that is why bone also plays a vital role in the structure of the body. And bones contain calcium, right, and other minerals also. And because of minerals, bones are stronger and they solid, because of minerals. And that is why in our foods we need minerals also. If we will not take minerals, then our bones will become weaker. Like calcium is a kind of mineral, right? Calcium is a mineral. And the skeletal system, the bones, also supply the calcium when our body undergoes deficiency of calcium. When your body has deficiency of calcium, then body takes calcium from the bones. That is why your bones become weaker. And when you have bone issues, that is because of you are not taking sufficient calcium in your body through your foods. Clear? That is why to make your bones stronger, you need an optimum calcium, not higher. Because if you will take much calcium, then your bones will become so stiff and that can break easily. So the higher amount of calcium is not also good for your bones. So nature doesn't want you to take anything in extra, be that minerals, be that vitamins, protein, carbohydrate, anything. You need to an extent, an optimum extent. Is getting clear? Yeah. Please must listen to me. When I will refer to the book, then only you will look into the book. Otherwise, you must pay attention. You must keep your ears open to my words and let my words enter, penetrate into your consciousness so that you can recall those things when I'll ask or when we'll have to give the examination, written examination, because it will be based on the course content. Clear? So this is the second benefit, second need of the bones in our body. What? That supports our body through framework of the bones. Third is that prevents the body from losing its shape. So your shape is maintained because of the bones. Yeah. And the fourth benefit is that suspends some of the vital organs, preventing them from crushing each other. So that can crush each other. Suppose if there had not been the, this rib cage, okay, and the vertebra column, which protects which is our lungs are connected with that, right? So what would have happened? Lungs would fall down, and that would crush the stomach, that would crush the intestines. Okay, so all these parts are safe because of they are prevented through different sections of the bones. Okay, so they cannot collide each other and they cannot crush each other. And fifth is that maintain the calcium levels in your blood. So that is these are the 5 needs of the skeletal system in your body. Clear? Now comes, how do we move our bones? And because of the joints. So we have many joints. We have different joints in our bodies, different types of joints. Joints are also different type of joints. Some joints are absolutely immovable. You cannot move. Some joints are immovable. Some joints are semi-movable. Some joints are fully movable, fully mobile. So first kind of joint is no mobile at all. Okay. Second is semi-mobile, and third is fully mobile. Okay. So you can bend our any part of the body because of our joints. Now let's see major 21 bones out of 206 bones. There are 21 major bones in our bodies. Now I would like you to refer to our book. Please see the page number 210. Or I would like you to please have a look on the screen. Okay, because some of you may not have the book. So let me share the screen. Are you able to see the screen? Can you see the screen? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So these are total 21 major bones. Okay. First is sacrum. Can you see sacrum? This is sacrum bone. Second, coccyx. Coccyx is also called tailbone. Sacrum, coccyx. Femur. Femur is the longest bone in our bodies. That is the longest bone, single bone. Then there is patella, kneecap, then fibula and tibia. Fibula and tibia, these are two bones in our legs. Okay, these two bones. Can you see the gap between these two bones? Can you see the gaps? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Then there is tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges. There are three bones. And the same types of bones are also in our hands. You can see carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges. Can you see? So our feet and hands are similar. Tarsals is this, carpals and tarsals is this, and metatarsals is this one, metacarpals is this, right? And phalanges are this one. They are similar. Now come the cranium. This is called cranium in head. Mandible, this one. Then clavicle, this one. And this is sternum. Sternum, where the thymus gland is there. Thymus gland in glandular system. Sternum, ribs. They are the ribs where our lungs are protected by the ribs, right? Humerus. This is humerus. Humerus bone is like this one. Femur and humerus are similar in nature. There's also single bone. Humerus bone is also single bone, where biceps and triceps muscles are located. And then pelvic girdle. This is pelvic girdle, where our pelvic area is there, pelvic floor. Okay, ladies have the broader pelvic girdle than the gents because they need to conceive the baby, right? during pregnancy, you need this support, pelvic girdle. Then this is radius, ulna. So radius and ulna are like this, fibula and tibia. There are two bones in this lower part. Similarly, there are two bones in our wrist, radius and ulna. Radius is longer, ulna is shorter one. And you have seen this, carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges. Clear? So these are the major 21 bones, what you have seen just now. And the entire skeletal system that constitutes the framework, the frame, complete frame of your body. And someone's face is broader, someone's is longer, you know, or someone's height and width. So because of one's BMI, different height and width, one's bodies, one's skeletal systems are longer or broader. Okay, but everyone is 3.5 with his or her hand like this, from here to there, this point. If you measure your body, then you will find that your body is 3.5. So if anybody is 8 feet longer, so that person also will be from the same 3.5 from this point to this point. We can measure your body. Okay. Now I'd like to show you different views of the skeletal system. Okay. Now again, I'll share this screen and please have a look on my screen. Therefore, I advise you to please must join this meeting through your laptop so that you will have bigger screen. Can you see this? Yeah. So this is anterior view. This is posterior and lateral view. Anterior is front view. You see this skull, you know, this on this. This is your anterior view. And this is posterior view, back side. So this is vertebra. What? This one is vertebra. There are total 33 pieces, 1 out of 33 joints in this vertebral column. This is pelvic girdle. This is femur, tibia and fibula. Then this heel, right? Heels. So this is back view, posterior view, rear view. Now lateral view. This is side view. See from side. This is shoulder sockets. Right? And here, this one from C, this. Clear? So these were the views, anterior, posterior, and lateral view of your skeletal system, your body. And through different yoga asanas, through different movements, you make your bones and the connection between the bones and the muscles more flexible, softer. Okay. So movements are helpful for the joints health. Now the subject comes, what are the things which hold different bones to each other? Okay. We have from shoulder socket to the fingers, you have so many bones in this. But two bones are holded, joined with uh, connective tissues. You have learned about the tissue, right? Tissues. So tissues are made of cells, right? So different tissues. There are different types of tissues. One tissue is called connective tissues. Muscles are also made of tissues, right? Muscles are made of tissues. So connective tissues are like band which connects, which holds. So ligament is a kind of connective tissue. Tendon is also kind of connective tissue. Fascia is also kind of connective tissue. There are three kinds of connective tissues. Okay, remember, first is ligament, second is tendon, and third is fascia. So ligament connects bone to bone. So two bones are connected with ligaments. And muscles to bones, tendons. So tendons connect muscles with the bones. Clear? And muscles to muscles, that is called fascia. Or I'll say skin to muscles is connected with fascia. You may have seen when the skin is piled out, then there is white content. Have you seen white content inside the skin? Have you seen the butcher? When butcher removes the skin from the body, then there is white content before the muscles. So that white is connective tissue is called fascia. Clear? So that keeps connected the skins and the muscles. So there are three types of connective tissues: ligaments, tendons, and fascia. But here we'll study about ligaments and tendons because we're learning a skeletal system. And there are numbers of ligaments and tendons, thousands in numbers, thousands of, not hundreds, but thousands of ligaments and tendons throughout the body. And they both can be stretched. Okay, there are different types of ligaments and tendons, and they can be stretched or overstretched. Now I'll show you the ligaments and tendons, how they are located in our bodies through this depiction, through this diagram. Okay, again I'll share my screen. Can you see this? So this is a skeletal muscle, right? And this is tendons, bind muscle to bone. This one, this part is tendon. So this is a muscle. There are different types of muscles. Okay, there are three kinds of muscles: a skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. Okay, there are three types of muscles. Clear? A skeletal muscle, and then smooth muscles, and then cardiac muscle. Skeletal muscles are all these biceps, triceps, all these chest muscles, all these muscles are called skeletal muscle. Clear? And smooth muscles are all internal organs are made of smooth muscles, which are very smooth, like kidneys, liver, stomach, intestines, lungs. All these are made of smooth muscles. And cardiac muscles are the superficial muscles, what you see, all these are skeletal muscle. So here I am showing you the skeletal muscle which are connected with the bone is called tendons. Clear? Now ligament. See, ligaments bind bone to bone. So here this is wrist and this is hand. So wrist joint. So these are the ligaments in between the wrist joints. Can you see? This one. So they were the ligaments and tendons located in our bodies. Clear? Now we come in perspective of yoga. Uh, Not only yoga, but any kind of exercise. When you are doing any kind of exercises, and if you are doing, if you are stretching, overstretching, or overexerting, or if you're not safe, if you're not mindful, you jump, you fall, then you may injure your ligament or the tendons. So when you overstretch in a ligament, or when the ligaments are torn, okay, so technically that is called sprain. What is it called? Sprain. You have heard two words, a sprain and a strain. Okay. So when you injure your ligament, that is called a sprain. But when you injure your tendons, that is called strain. Okay. A sprain and a strain. Like ankle joints, knee joints, or wrist joints. If you injure them, then that's called a sprain. But when you feel any injury in leg, foot, or back, so that is absolutely tendons injury. Okay, muscles tear, muscles pull. So joints are called a sprain, and muscles are called strain. You strain the muscles, and you sprain the joints. Is it clear? These two concepts, a sprain and a strain. A sprain happens in the joints, and a strain happens in the muscles. But here, when I say joint, a sprain in joint, that means there is injury in the ligaments. When I say a strain in the muscles, that means there is injury in the tendons. Okay. Now, let us understand the different types of joints in detail. There are three types of joints. Okay. There are three kinds of joints. One is fibrous, second is cartilaginous, and third is synovial joints. Always remember fibrous, clear? Fibrous, where fiber comes. Cartilaginous, where cartilage comes in the joint, in between the joints. Where synovial fluid. Have you heard what synovial fluid? So because of synovial fluid, your joint is more mobile. Okay. So fibrous joints are immovable joint. You cannot move the fibrous joints. Clear? And cartilaginous joints, you can move partially. And synovial joints, you can move freely. Clear? And there are some examples of fibrous joints. I would like you to please have a look on my screen. I'll show you. Not at the book. Please look at my screen. Again, I'll share my screen. Okay. Can you see now? Yeah, this is skull. Okay. So there is joint in this skull also. And this is leg, ends of the tibia and fibula, lower leg. There is joint. So these are immovable joints. Okay. And then gums. So the teeth, root of the teeth in the jaw. They are also joints, but you cannot move them. So they come under, yes, fibrous joints. Clear? Fibrous joints. Now comes cartilaginous joints. So cartilage, cartilage. And these joints occur between the articulating bones, which is made of cartilage, like vertebra in the spine, vertebra column, right? The 33 vertebra. So between these two 33 vertebrae, that is, there is cartilage, and that is called cartilaginous joints. What is cartilage? Cartilage is like pad, pad. That cushion, that works like cushions between the two joints. So the spinal column that is made of 33 vertebrae, so that is placed over each other as a between the uh, two cartilage cushion kind of things. That is called cartilaginous joints. You can move but partly, not freely. Okay. Now comes synovial joints. Synovial joints, what we have learned is freely movable. You can move freely. But in synovial joints also, there are different kinds of movements. Again, I'll show you what there are total 6 types of synovial joints. 6 types of synovial joints. Now I'll show you the diagram and I will clarify them this with diagram. Now please look on my screen. Yes. Hope you can see my screen, right? So first is pivot joints. Pivot. 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 So this allows to rotate your neck left and right. So rotation happens because of this joint. You can see there are some joints in the furnitures and some some structures. The robots are made of these joints. Robots have also these joints. So pivot joint here between C1 and C2 vertebra. Here, it's pivot joints. The first and second cervical vertebra, cervical. Second, the hinge joints. Okay, the hinge, that is hinge. Elbow, like door, hinge door, right? Hinge. So elbows is like hinge door, hinge. So this is called hinge joints, elbows. Clear? And third is saddle joint. Saddle joint. So you can see the saddle joints in the fingers. Okay, in the fingers, carpals, right? Carpals. In our hands and also in our feet. So saddle joints you can find in the hands and in the feet. That's called saddle joints. That articulates the bones. First metacarpal bone at the base of the thumb is saddle joints. Next is fourth, plane joints. You can see the plane joints in our wrist joint and also in our ankle joint, plane joint between the tarsal bones, tarsal and carpus bones. This is carpal bones, right? In here, carpal bones, and there in feet there. It's called plane joints. And fifth is condyloid joints. This is condyloid joints here. You can see the structure of this, right? This one. This can be moved in this way, in this way, in this way. Wrist joint. Also, when you move your ankle joints, you may have learned the anteromedic group of asanas, right? So anteromedic group of asanas, you move your wrist joints, right? Wrist joint. Also, you move the ankle joints like this and like this. So that is because of these condyloid joints. And sixth is ball and socket joints. And they are located into hips and shoulders. See, ball and socket joints, hips. And also shoulders here at this point. So these are the joints of our body, different kinds of joints. Okay, this is socket joints. When you move in this, right, socket. Similarly, we have in our hips also. So all the hip opening asanas work on that joint. ball and socket joints. Okay, I'll ask all these terms maybe randomly from this chapter tomorrow. So please be prepared. I'll ask, what is ball and socket joint? Please show me. I'll ask the saddle joints. I'll ask the plane joints. You'll have to answer me. Not looking into the book, but okay. So the joints obviously uh, plays a great role in the movements. Okay. Now I'll show you different types of movements, because when the thing comes, when we talk about joints, then we must know about different movements, because movements are parts of uh, since movements are parts of biomechanics, but here I will teach you different kinds of movements, and same will be referred in biomechanics chapter. Okay, so please understand different types of movements. Okay, again I'll share my screen to show you in more detail. That will help you understand what are different kinds of movements. See, first is gliding movement. Okay, so the intercarpals gliding is this gliding. Okay, this is called gliding. So when we move the fingers in this way, it's called gliding. Clear? Next is flexion extension. When we understand flexion, then we can understand extension also. Flexion is when you bring close, that is flexion. When you extend, that's called extension. Bringing the forearm up towards its shoulder is called flexion. And when we take this apart, that is called extension, extend. Similarly, this is called extension of the head, when you take head upward. Not this, extend. Okay, extension, yes. It's called hyperextension, when you extend extra. Clear? So if you understand flexion, you will understand the extension also. Now comes abduction and adduction. There are two terms, abduction and adduction. So abduction is taking apart. Okay, see, when you practice some asanas lying on your back and you take your legs apart, right? You take your legs apart, scissoring, making the seizure. When your legs go apart, that's called abduction. And when your legs come closer, that's called adduction. Or when you take your arm out, that is called also like this, abduction and adduction. When you add to the body, that is called adduction. When you go opposite, that is called abduction. See, like this, in legs and in fingers. See, in this, legs and fingers. This is abduction. When you take your fingers apart, that is abduction. And when you bring closure, this is adduction. Clear? Now next come circumduction. Circumduction is when you move this, circumduction, circular motion. When you move anything circular, it's called circumduction, 360-degree rotation. Like the shoulders also, because shoulders move. Okay. That's called circumduction. Or when you move this, fingers, move this is called circumduction movement. So anything when you move in this way, 360 degree, that's called circumduction. Hyperextension. You have learned extension. Now here you learn hyperextension. When you take your head back, like when you practice Matsyasana, fish posture, fish. So in fish posture, your head goes in hyperextension. Also in Ustrasana, camel posture, your head goes in hyperextension. Now comes protraction and retraction. Okay, protraction and retraction. When you take your this forward, that's called protraction, like this. When we bring normal, that becomes retraction. Okay. So moving jaw forward is called protraction, and bring back retraction. Clear? Now come elevation and depression. Elevation. When you do Bhastrika Pranayama, elevation and depression. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. This is elevation and depression. So this is elevation. But when you take more down, like when you take your jaw down, this is depression. Rotation. There are two kinds of rotation: inner rotation and outer rotation. Inner, inside, and outer. Clear? Now supination and pronation. Supine, you know, supine is this, and prone is this. Towards the floor is called prone, and opposite to the floor is called supine. So we move the hands: supine, prone, supine, prone, supine, prone. Clear? Or like in yoga asanas, there are two kinds of asanas. One is supine asana, another is prone asana. When you practice the asanas lying on your back, that is called supine. When you lie down on your abdomen, that's called prone asanas. I think things are very clear to you, right? Next is opposition. Opposition. When you practice mudras, different mudras, then fingers come in opposition to each other. Okay, so mudras are opposition. When you move fingers to this, that is opposition. Next is dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. Dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. So dorsiflexion is when you move your foot up, like ankle bendings. Ankle bendings. You take your ankles, feet up, that is called dorsiflexion. And when you take your feet, toes towards the floor, that is called plantar flexion. Dorsi, plantar. Dorsi, plantar. Clear? Next is inversion and eversion. Inversion, naturally, this, and eversion. When you move your legs like this, inversion, eversion. Inside is inversion, outside is eversion. Okay. So these were different movements of the joints. Clear? And when you practice different yoga asanas, and then in vinyasa, in Surya Namaskar, in other movements, your body undergoes different movements. And that is how we can make our joints healthier through different mobility exercises. Okay, so all the anti-rheumatic group of asanas are actually joint mobilizations. They're good for our joints. That's why that is called anti-rheumatic. Rheumatism is a arthritis, kind of arthritis, right? Rheumatism. Clear? Okay. Now, if you have any question, please ask me. Otherwise, we'll finish the session. No question from anybody? You know, in two cases, you don't ask any question. In two cases. First case is when you have understood. Second case is when you do not understand. So I think you are in first case. You have understood, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. Well, so now we'll finish the session. Close your eyes. Om Asatoma Sadigamaya.
Om
sato ma sadugamaya.
Tamso ma jyotirgamaya.
Asoma jyotigamaya.
Mrityorma amritangamaya.
Mrityorma amritangama.
Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah.
Om sarve bhavantiko sukhinah.
Sarve santu niramayah.
Sarve santu namaha.
Sarve Sarve bhadrani pashyantu.
Sarve bhadrani pashyantu.
Ma kashit dukh bhag bhave.
Akashit dubhagvate.
Together once, Om Tri Shanti, to spread peace everywhere. Om Shanti
Shantihi.
Shanti Shanti.
Shantihi.
Hold on, salute your teacher, all the teachers, and the divine, the all names and forms.